Okay, next move. This is move number 9. Belt meridian grinding. We already do this exercise,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna explain a little bit about what you do when you do it. It's a very simple exercise. So you start in a Wuji position, open up into a horse stance, and there's two versions of this. One moves to 180 degrees. The second one goes 360 degrees. All right, so the first one, 180 degrees, right, from the right side to the left side. All right, so when you're doing this, sorry, I forgot I had that up there. Um, imagine you're looking down onto somebody's head, right? So here's a cross section of their body, right? And here's their head, right? And they're looking out in this direction here. So the shape that you're making, right, is like this. All right. Does that make sense? Can you see that clearly?
Yes.
So we're drawing out a bean.
Yes, kind of bean shaped. That's exactly right. Now the second one, the shape you're making is all the way around. You might as well just go all the way around like that. So again, okay, when you're doing this, your mind should be on your Danchen and your Daimai. So if I'm going from right to left, what should my Danchen be doing? Jill, what should my Danchen be doing? Yeah, it's also spinning from right to left, right? Boom. What's my Daimai doing? Jill?
It's also spinning.
Yes, it's doing the same thing, going in the same direction. Both of them are going 360 degrees. Right? Even though your physical body's only going 180. So when I'm going like this, I'm moving in the Daimai across my belly and into the left side. And across my belly into the left side. Now it's going across my back. And now it's going to come out on the right side and go around across my belly again in the left side, across the back, out the right side, across the belly, in the left side, across the back, etc.
Hey, Malcolm,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is right, but I get this sensation in the daimai almost like it's oscillating in opposite directions.
If you have a feeling like that, you should watch it. You should see what's going on with it, right? For me, that would not be the description of what I'm doing, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going around and then around here. Now, maybe you're interpreting that, feeling that as that oscillation. I'm feeling it as a rotation.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you're wrong.
Yeah, it's just
Right?
I don't know. There I'm getting some opposing feeling. You know.
Well, just practice it for a while and see what happens. All right? And then the other way. It's exactly the same thing. We're just going to reverse everything. And all the way. Okay, when you do all the way, you should go from one on one side from the spine and back all the way around to the spine the other direction. Now, when I do that, because I have spinal stenosis in the lower part, which means a narrowing of the spine. It's from an old injury. So I take advantage of that and I pop myself when I go around like this. I pop myself with the back of my fist on my tailbone a little bit. Now, I'm not trying to hurt myself. It's just a kind of massage where you do a very kind of light bouncing on there, and it feels really good. All right? You should also pay attention to the bottom of your feet when you do this, particularly the bigger one like this, where you're going all 360 degrees. Pay attention to your feet. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Um, I would have to watch some videos of Master Funk to see how he does this. But Master Zhang, it's not this, guys. It's not this. All right? That's the windmill. All right? Watch. All right? And then you sneak back around. Boom. And so forth, right? Let's do the other direction. Um, one other thing you might pay a little attention to is the qua. So let's say I'm going around in this direction. I'm going to lower myself into this qua, but you also have to lower yourself into the other qua. Let me put my qua on. So I'm going to lower myself into the red qua, but you also have to lower yourself into the blue qua. You don't want to do this, where you're lifting this qua. All right? So your dog, and this is actually always true for every exercise, but it really shows up in this one because you're in this slightly larger horse stance. All right? Your dong, this area here, has to be a nice circle. You don't want this nice circle allows the chi to flow really easily from foot to foot. But if you start doing this, where you lift your qua and it gets a point in it, like a Gothic arch, right? That sharp point will stop the chi from flowing very, very easily. You don't want to do that, all right? You just want to lower it like you're sitting down on a horse. And if you've never sat down on a horse, go get a horse and sit down on it. So when you use a horse stance to do this, you're going to get a lot of the exercise is going to be in this area here, in your legs, your butt, your quad. I think I said the other day, in China they call your legs and the dong your second heart, right? In other words, they're so big, they're so important in the body that they act like a heart because you're constantly squeezing the muscle, relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, and it helps to pump the blood from the lower body up into the upper body, and it helps a lot with your health. Now, I've noticed a couple of things. One, women in skirts have problems doing this. The skirts inhibit them. So you might think about wearing gym pants when you do this. Secondly, is um, a lot of people just don't do it, and it's really a shame. I keep kind of reminding people, look, you got to work your legs out too. Every exercise we do, every exercise, you are shifting your weight, and you're not shifting your weight like this. Right? That kind of stiffness is not good. Right? Instead, you want to relax, sit down on the horse, and shift your weight like this. That's 60% of the exercise, not your hands. Now, if you were in Master Zhang's class, Jill, go down further. A little further. Not, it's not bending over, right? It's sinking here, sink. Yeah. Okay, now, right? Stand there for 20 minutes. We used to do that. Shift your weight, right? Like 90%. Right? You could pick that foot up. Right? You could pick that foot up. Nice and slow. Okay? So we're not training for the ring, so we don't have to get too crazy about it. But the further down you go, the more exercise you're going to get, the better this is going to be for you. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. American culture, everything focuses on your arms. Why? Because you can see them. I wear long sleeves because it's cold in here. But in the gym, everybody's just got tank tops on, so it's like, oh, I'm really strong, right? And they just forget about now. They don't in the gym. They work out their legs too. But culturally, it's like we just forget everything below our navel. We just forget. It's not really there.
Yeah, I was reading a critique about like the modern interpretations of the Jane Austen novels.
Yeah,
Is that, because it's like all these like super buff guys. And it's like would have never happened in Jane Austen's time. It was all about the legs, horsemanship,
exactly.
and
There's there's
narrow shoulders. And yeah, that was the desired look for a gentleman.
the ancient Greeks did not focus on the arms. They focused on the thighs
Mhm.
because they were runners. And so there's a line in the Odyssey. Yeah, it's in the Odyssey when Ulysses washes up on the shore of North Africa, and he meets some ladies there, including some princess. And he's gone through hell in his journeys and at Troy, and he's quite a bit older than he used to be, so he's looking a little bedraggled. But his tutelary goddess is Aphrodite, and the line says, "And Aphrodite increased him in the thighs." In other words, made him younger and stronger by increasing him in the thighs, so that he was attractive to the young ladies there, right? So other cultures focus on other parts of the body, and American culture is well, I don't know. You guys may have seen some. I'll see if I can scare one of these up and we can watch it sometime. A lot of gym culture now is really about steroid use. So you see these, and these guys are all on drugs. And these drugs, if you give these drugs to animals, they will turn into monsters. And that's exactly what's happening with these guys. Now, they do work out really hard too. Nevertheless, if you just gave them the drugs, they turn into monsters. And they just turn into these giant, they look like cartoon characters.
I
If you,
yeah, I lived in uh uh Santa Monica and Venice Beach. Oh my gosh, they are monsters.
they are monsters, and they literally are monsters. Now, what happens when they stop the drugs is that all goes away. So, usually by age 50 or 60 or so, they've stopped the drugs because they'll kill you. So they just shrink back to normal size. All right. In the old days, before physique enhancing drugs, you had to earn it the hard way. You had to do it. You had to do it without the use of drugs. And if you go back and look at um, bodybuilders from the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, even up into the 50s, they didn't look like that. I mean, they were really strong looking, but they were not all pumped up like that. So it's really interesting to watch what happens when drug culture hit. And now they're all like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was juicing heavily. He had a really good doctor, so it worked well for him. But look at him now; he's still in good shape, but doesn't look like he used to look.
You know, you can also tell the difference between gym muscles and working muscles. They're
Absolutely,
they're very different.
absolutely. Well, that's what I'm saying. In the old days, yes, they're bodybuilders. Yes, they are gym muscles in a way, but they're much more like just plain working muscles. Now they're not like that at all. They're like cartoon characters. It,
Actually, that was one thing that I noticed is that they seem to have trouble walking.
they have trouble with a lot of things. When you juice like that, right? Your balls shrink.
Uh,
Your
well,
balls. No, I'm not kidding. They shrink to the size of peas. They just go
Oh
away
God.
because you're basically juicing yourself with testosterone and testosterone related products. So your body doesn't need your balls anymore. So they atrophy. Um, your penis size will decrease.
mhm.
You will end up growing breasts later, etc., etc. It's bizarre what this stuff does to you. These are
Yeah.
really powerful drugs.
But it's what I really thought was interesting was that mechanically they no longer worked like, like there was no smoothness in their movements. Is that by bulking up these muscles that you wouldn't ordinarily be using, suddenly, I mean, it's basically their mechanically their bodies didn't work the same.
Of course not. No human being would be built like that. It would be impossible.
Mhm.
One of my favorite proofs of that is this guy's in a gym with all these gigantic monsters, right? And he says, "Okay, I want to do something with you guys. We're going to film this." I say, "Okay, we'll do this with you." He says, "I want you to turn around," and he takes a piece of tape and puts it on their back between their shoulder blades, and he says, "Now take it off." None of them can reach it. They're so gigantic. They're so they can hardly move because they're just filled up with this false muscles. Okay, I've I've gotten it out.
We're
I've
not
gotten
doing
myself.
that.
It's good to be in shape, but I think it's absolutely insane to to change your body like that with these drugs. I mean, is there any hormone stronger than testosterone? I don't think so. Maybe estrogen on the other side, but they are incredibly powerful drugs. Jill, you look like you were going to say something. No?
I was going to say estrogen could probably, uh, I don't know. Yeah, I think they are equal in different ways, but not for building muscles, of course.
I don't get it. I guess you let human beings do what they want to do, and there'll always be some people that go out onto the crazy edge of things. But
Well, isn't that the American way to do
well, it's the
going
worldwide
to the
way. But yes,
extreme?
yes, yes. I'm not even going to say anything about these kids that are messing with their hormones now. The what do they call it? The
Well, I think
trans
that's a
insanity.
little different.
It's a little different.
Oh, a lot different.
How so?
Well, it's the purposes of it are basically for particularly for the mental health of the discord of the physical body to what they're basically
You know what, Jill?
what
And we're getting into politics, so we can't do that, but I think
well
that's absolute, I think it's bullshit. I think that there's like 1 out of 1,000 kids who actually has sexual dysmorphia, and the rest of it is nothing more than copycat. It's,
oh I don't know.
we're not going to talk about it. That's my
I
opinion. Okay, let's do a couple of the other exercises. And split. Doling. And touch the earth. And close your pores. Salute our masters and salute your classmates. Thank you, everyone. All right. So tomorrow we will move on to, excuse me, move number 10, heaven and earth, open and close. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.